holy shit! You remember when we got into Atheism Plus?
Oh God! Oh man!
Remember when we got into the Atheism Plus group on Facebook years ago?
You guys fucking with the Brights.
Yeah, we were the Brights. We got into that group and we fit in because we knew their language. So we knew. Now they were very much into trans stuff and like every kind of person is special and that kind of shit. And we started posting about the. I can't even say
trannies or transhumanism.
Both really.
Okay.
Because you're a tranny, you're not human anymore.
But both. Well, okay. Both of them.
I just remember that environment was so.
It was very positive.
Curated.
Do you remember that it was very, very carefully curated? They were very, very, and they were, dude. If you think purity spiraling on the right is a bit, oh my god, the purity spiraling there was like, you don't even understand. Like if you questioned anything about like trans was their big thing. If you questioned anything relating to that, you were right out. But the thing that got me booted...
that is godless as fuck, so
But the thing that got me booted was when I tried to kind of create... This was like about 5 or 6 years ago that we were doing this. I tried to create like dissidence in their community or dissonance in their own minds when I started posting about the baby dick sucking circumcision ritual of Jews.
Oh, God.
Booted.
Yep.
Booted.
Bet you swing some
And the guy that did it, I was
chicken
like, and I started fighting with the guy who was deleting the posts.
on baby dicks.
I started fighting with the admin of the group who was deleting the posts, and I was like, "Are you Jewish?" And he was like, "No." I was like, "I'm not. I know you're an atheist. Are you Jewish? Are you of Jewish descent?" And he was like, "Well, on my father's side, or something like that." And I was like, "Are you sure that your cultural need to protect that community from criticism is not why you're deleting? Why I am in this Atheism Plus group where we rag on every fucking shitty religious practice and talk about like barbaric, superstitious things that these religious groups do. And I have posted a thing where these really very conservative religious Jews do this ritual that actually not only is like disgusting physically, but leads to giving infants herpes a lot of the time.
That's
and
also
that the New York
lyrics.
City Health Department has had a very hard time dealing with. And so, and you are removing me. And then they're like, well, you're an anti-Semite. And I was like, okay, but like...
yeah,
you know,
all right, fine, but
that doesn't mean that...
Look over there.
That doesn't mean like, aren't we atheists? Shouldn't we be
You are a
anti-Semites?
Jew hater.
No. Shouldn't we be as atheists anti-Semites? And then he had this thing where like, that
was what he said?
This is actually he's like, we don't want to be like anti these groups. We want to help bring them out. I was like, trust me, dude, you're not talking to these Orthodox Jews and bringing them out of the thing that they're in. Okay, that's not happening with these people.
That moderator.
No, he's going to quote some fucking Richard Dawkins to these Orthodox Jews, and they're going to be like, "Oh yeah, fucking add me to your Facebook group."
Yeah, they don't take that approach with any other religious group that they're criticizing.
They don't take it at all.
The mod was
and
like,
I pointed that out.
God damn it!
Excuse me.
The mod of that group, he was like,
I'm half Jewish.
Like,
yeah, he really was. He really was. And
then you heard his argument, and he was like,
he was Jewish and mentally retarded.
Yeah, and he really was, and then it devolved into him saying, like, you're projecting on me because, like, I'm Jewish. And I was like, well, yeah.
And then Mike was like, wait a minute, atheism?
We know who the real Jews are.
Now we do.
Yeah. Yeah, and the thing is that the group was heavily Jewish. Like the atheist, it was heavily Jewish. However, they were like fucked up weird Jews. Like they were obviously not Orthodox and secular, but like, just like with blue hair and all kinds of weird shit.
Yeah.
But it was clear that they were Jews. You can look at their face, you see they're Jews, right? You can see that they're Jews. And,
you know what they say about having a big nose.
I'm sorry, I'm on the ball with the drops. I don't want to hear any complaints about drops. Dude, you should do one. Do yours work?
Mine
That
don't work, dude. I've
Atheism
given up
Plus
on it.
thing,
Mine aren't working.
That came out of Rebecca Watson and Elevator Gate, and then it seemed like it died within a couple years,
Elevator
right?
Gate.
Those were the
you don't
people who
remember
were
Elevator
calling
Gate?
themselves Brights, right? I
Yes.
forget which atheist faction.
Wow, it rhymes.
Well, they did
It's like
the
a
Brights
slant
thing,
rhyme.
but then they sort of had their own little Me Too movement, and then created this Atheism Plus that was supposed to be Atheism plus social justice bullshit.
I think Brights came after Atheism Plus. I could be wrong on the timeline here.
Yeah,
but you don't remember.
Yeah, because they were Dawkinsites, and Dawkins was on the other side of the elevator.
Is that
gate.
like...
Yep.
Yes.
Atheism Plus, like that's Atheism 98? Like they need to show that they made it an upgrade to Atheism 95.
Yeah, fucking
Look how much better it works.
No, it really was because it was atheism plus social
Vista.
justice.
Atheism Vista.
Rebecca Watson's a Jew, right? She's got to be Jewish.
No, but the thing with it was that it was, as Alex said, elevator gate, where Rebecca Watson was propositioned for a cup of coffee, not sex, but a cup of coffee by a fat spurg in an elevator. And because she was revolted by his physical presence, she decided to do the typical thing that like lefty girls do when they simply are just like actually falling prey to sexist notions of masculine beauty and don't want anything to do with an ugly dude. And she was saying he's creepy, he's harassing, etc. But we all know that if he was handsome and smooth, she damn well would have gone to have that cup of coffee and maybe a cup of something else a little bit later.
Oosh.
But you know, anyway, this is all kind of old stuff. But yeah,
it's good though. It's fun.
Is there 2 girls with that cup?
Yep.
Yes, there was 2 girls, 1 cup, and wow,
2 girls,
bringing it back.
Wow,
this is old school.
This
shit.
really is like Atheism 98.
This is real old school.
How old is 2
This
girls?
is Internet 98.
We're doing throwback memes.
No, this is Internet 98 combined with Atheism.
Atheism 7.
Atheism Vista. Atheism 7. Atheism 7 was actually the only decently functional atheism.
Atheism
Like-
XP was okay.
No, Alex McNabb is Atheism 7 because it's like the only functional atheism. Like, all other atheisms are just a shit show.
Oh, man. Can't get the audio drivers to work on the new atheism.
Yeah, dude, Atheism 98. Yeah.
The worst is you want to do like Unix-based atheism. No one knows how it works. No one cares. No one wants to use it except for very autistic people.
I'm doing like a build from code of the Gen 2 atheism.
Got to compile
And,
my
like-
Gen 2. I'm going to compile my atheism kernel. Compile my kernel over here. Download some libraries. Do stuff
The
in
library
libraries.
is Sam Harris, Richard Dawkins, and nobody else.
Isn't this great? No one can put together a UI for me, so I get to do this all myself.
Yeah, like it's like Sam Harris is sort of like Gen 2 like Linux atheism. There's like no fundamental like interface that you can like actually relate to it through, and so he's trying to build like the morality comes from suffering, and it's just not working, and like it's just a total fail, and everyone's kind of laughing at it. But then he still gets to go on Dave Rubin. And you know, whatever.
You could get the Apple atheism.
I was just
going to
go there.
Overpriced.
It's overpriced.
It's hipster shit.
But it's a good signal. Like that's how you know you're really serious about your atheism. You got the atheism, where you're just
atheism is only compatible with cat ladies.
thinking. Cat ladies
So
with a lot of
dumbed
money.
down.
That's a very slick. That's like the city slicker atheism. You know.
What's like alt-right atheism? Like the kind of atheism where you're like, all religion is Abrahamic garbage. Like, like what is that?
Is that like Sun Systems?
no,
yes, yes. Sun Microsystems atheism, because it's like
Sun Micro.
Lightning and Sun Microsystems atheism.
Perfect. Lightning and Sun
Perfect.
Microsystems.
Fucking
oh my
perfect.
God.
And you don't get a computer. It's like a full workstation. Like, cause you know how you never like Sun never developed like a personal computer. They were like these massive like workstations for industry. So like the Lightning and Sun Microsystems atheism workstation.
It's like not micro
where
at
you
all.
have to like read
macro
all this
system.
esoteric Hitler shit. You have to like go into like the Vedas and like the fucking all this fucking ancient Indian shit, and like then you can hit like the fucking Lightning and Sun atheism.
Well, actually, like maybe like alt-right Christianity. Alt-right, you'd have to go back to like what is it? Sedevacanist and Pius 9 and all that stuff. Like, so you have to go back and read like the
Pius 10th.
Pius 10. Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Is there?
SPS
I thought there was an I before that X. Am I wrong?
I don't fucking know, dude.
I don't remember. Like, what's that sect?
SPSX.
SPSX.
Society of St. Pius X.
That's what it was. 10th. I'm sorry.
Yeah, X is 10th.
I'm sorry. I had the wrong.
I think. Look,
you know,
there's
you
gonna be a
make. That's
Catholic
what happens
spur-
when you make too many movies. You
This
know,
is
it's
what
like
happens
I
when
don't
you-
know what Alien 4 is.
This
Like,
is
I
what
don't
happens
remember.
when you don't know what you're talking about. But no, there's
Well,
going
that
to be
happens.
a
All right.
Catholic spurg in the comments like, you guys are totally wrong. But I think
man.
it's SPSX. I know that. I know that SPSX is where you go if you're like an anti-Semite.
I thought it was SPX. I thought it was IX, but I'm definitely wrong.
You could be absolutely right.
I'm probably just wrong.
No, you're probably right, and I just don't know. Somebody look it up.
I don't know either.
We don't have an internet
feel
anymore.
like-
God damn it.
Getting into esoteric
No, I don't want to get
It's
into
just not
esoteric
No.
Catholicism at all.
I don't want to go down that trail.
I was just gonna say, like, you have to look back, like, go all the way back to your original, like, Boolean logic for computing, and just use, like, you know, ones and zeros and turning switches by hand. Like, that's that's
like
that's
let
all,
there be
yeah.
light or not.
Yeah. So that's
Let there
kinda,
be not light.
Wow. Whew. Brought the segment
Anyway,
to a
wow, we never
crashing,
even-
screeching halt.
We never even talked about
Trump co-posting.
This,
Well,
this is a good this is a good direct.
Yeah,
but I did want to.
We coped with it with a you know, tangent on all
No,
this fun
this
stuff.
is this is what we do, and it's good. But
Yeah,
the
it
point
was a good diversion because it took me back to the old days. When
dude,
our
that
biggest
was
concern was
it. Took me
debating
back
the
to the old
philosophy
days.
of Sam
Remember
Harris.
when this was fun?
Yeah, it used to be fun.
Fun time,
Alex,
man. It's a great
remember
time to
when
be
we
alive.
had fun?
We're having fun. The Trump co-posting's gonna be fun. We just have to get around to it.
All right, we just got to get around
It's
to
fun.
it.
It's fun.
But man, those old days of trolling atheism and still nobody knew who the fuck I was. that was so much fun.
That's
New
the thing.
listeners, go back and read McNabb's article, "The God Haters."
Yeah, that's
Dude,
what
is
we're
that
talking
like
about.
8
man.
years old now? I can't even remember.
6 years
Classic.
old? 6 years old.
Jesus Christ.
Classic material.
What a fun time to be alive.
Yeah, that was a good time.
I didn't think about chain link fences and nuclear holocausts back then.
But remember,
I think
like,
about that exclusively.
remember we had
Like, I
we had
hope
like
there's a God now, just so he will fucking hit the big red button and send us all straight.
Oh, there's
to
a
the hell we
God. His
want.
name is John Bolton.
well,
He's
we
gonna
had
hit that button.
back in those days. Wait, hold on, before we get out of back in those days, we thought Doompaul memes.
Yeah.
We had them, but we just thought they were funny. Now they're like real.
Listen, we should have listened.
We didn't
I mean,
listen.
now we're bringing it
That's the
back, and
idea
it's
of
like
the meme.
Nobody's laughing now, buddy.
except now it's just the chain link fence and no Ron Paul. Ron Paul has long since retreated into his bunker, and he's laughing at us as we, have no
Yeah,
choice
now
but
it's
to
us
cling to the
with,
fence.